When my partner informed me that her folks believed I wasn't suitable for her, implying she deserved someone superior, I replied evenly, "Then go ahead." That very evening, I silently shifted our rental agreement entirely to her, revoked her permission on my charge card, and departed as she slumbered. 7 days afterward, her whole clan appeared at my fresh residence, begging me to rethink it. It's odd how sorrow can seem so tranquil. No shouting, no weeping. Merely a chill, sharp concentration that grips you. I'd shared my life with Sophia for 3 years, encountering her shortly post-graduation at a shared acquaintance's relocation bash. She was sharp, beautiful, ambitious, precisely what I'd always desired. We cohabited after 12 months, became betrothed after 24, and were immersed in matrimonial arrangements when everything disintegrated. Looking back, the warning signs existed. Sophia's parents, Edward and Victoria, had never been especially cordial. They embodied the upper crust, inherited fortune, exclusive prep schools, vacation retreats on Nantucket. I hailed from a humble household in Ohio, funded my public college via debts and odd jobs, and was forging a path as a designer at a reliable yet ordinary agency. During meals, they'd inquire about my occupational goals, questioning if my agency tackled any prominent ventures. Victoria would reference Sophia's former beau, currently flourishing at an investment bank in Boston. Edward would cite contacts' offspring who were physicians or executive chiefs. I dismissed it. Relatives by marriage can be challenging. No? Sophia would tap my knee beneath the surface, grinning when her parents averted their gaze. I figured we were secure. The moment it crumbled was ordinary. A Tuesday in June, I returned drained from an extended patron briefing. Sophia lingered at our cooking area, fixed on her device. I announced, dropping my fob into the tray near the entrance. "How went your afternoon?" She delayed her answer, unusual for her. Sophia constantly conversed, regarding her employment, companions, or an item she'd viewed digitally. The quiet served as my initial clue something brewed. "I dined midday with my folks," she uttered eventually, gaze fixed on her display. "How fare Edward and Victoria?" I queried, tone relaxed as I fetched a beverage from the cooler. "They're anxious over us." I halted, container midway lifted. "Anxious in what manner?" "Concerning the ceremony. Regarding if you're the proper match for me." I placed the beverage aside, unopened. "And what's your view?" "They merely desire my optimum." "That's not my query." She exhaled, closing her device. "They raised points I hadn't pondered, such as how your role lacks the same ascent potential as, perhaps, banking or legal fields. How we'll never inhabit the lifestyle I knew growing up. How our origins differ so vastly. We've recognized that from the outset," I noted. My tone firm though my torso constricted. "It never troubled you prior." "It hasn't. Yet envisioning the distant view, offspring, tomorrow, I'm uncertain." They posed reasonable arguments like how you're content in your spot. You seldom discuss striving for leadership or establishing your agency. You're simply content with mediocrity. That pierced. I'd never feigned stardom, but I labored diligently, valued my creations. I wasn't transforming society, but I constructed a creditable livelihood pursuing my affection. "What do you mean, Sophia?" She toyed with her commitment band, the one I'd scrimped half a year for, the one her mother deemed quaint with a subtle scoff. "My folks deem you unsuitable for me," she stated ultimately. "They believe I merit superior." The space appeared to tilt, akin to a structure adjusting postquake. 3 years, a year pledged, endless vows and schemes, condensed to her parents' appraisal. "And your belief?" I queried once more, tone scarcely audible. She evaded my eyes. "I suspect they could be correct. In a film, here's where I'd plead, recall our bond, pledge to demonstrate my merit." But that icy precision struck me like a surge. "Then proceed," I uttered plainly. "Proceed with what?" "Locate someone superior, should that be your and your parents' conviction." She appeared shocked, as if anticipating resistance or sobs. "Ryan, I'm not declaring an end, merely hesitant. Hesitant if I'm adequate due to your parents' words. It's more intricate than that." "Is it?" Peers direct to me. I passed her toward our sleeping quarters, her puzzled face shadowing me. I bathed, the steaming liquid sharpening my mind as I outlined my subsequent moves. Upon finishing, I possessed a strategy. Sophia rested when I appeared, perusing her gadget as on any routine evening. "Might we discuss this come dawn?" she inquired, peering upward. "I'm weary, and we ought to rest upon it." "Certainly," I replied, entering the bedding. "Dawn it is." I lingered until her respiration steadied near 1 a.m. Then I eased from the bedding, seized my pre-stowed satchel from the wardrobe, and commenced. I entered our dwelling's renter system. The contract bore my name, Sophia, as joint dweller since my financial rating excelled upon signing. I filed a petition to shift the contract exclusively to her, indicating she'd endorse and the proprietor would verify. Our proprietor, Mr. Harlan, was equitable and favored me. I trusted he'd assist Sophia through the adjustment should she remain. Subsequently, I entered my financial portal. Sophia held approved status on my charge card for joint costs, though we maintained our funds largely distinct. I withdrew her entry and requested a fresh card for myself. I compiled a roster of services and memberships under my name, electricity, internet, video platforms, to either shift or terminate post-alert. I penned a brief memo detailing my exit, the initiated contract shift, and my intent to retrieve leftover items later. I specified she possessed 30 days for the dwelling decision and I'd sustain services until she assumed them. I positioned the memo and my fob on the surface and exited. I'd messaged my pal Liam beforehand, during Sophia's lavatory visit, seeking to lodge at his. He consented promptly, a genuine ally. Upon reaching his flat at 2 a.m., he unlatched the portal drowsily yet worried. "You all right, buddy?" "Not entirely," I conceded. "Yet I shall be." Over beverages on his settee, I recounted all. Liam refrained from urging reunion or return. Her shortfall, he noted, clinking his vessel to mine. Linger as required. The subsequent morn, my device brimmed with alerts. Rings, dispatches, recordings from Sophia, each increasingly frantic. "Whereabouts? Contact me. You simply vanished?" The proprietor referenced a contract shift. "I can't sustain this solo. You nullified the card? How procure provisions?" That final was wry. Despite her lineage's affluence, Sophia valued her autonomy, subsisting on her novice publicity position while her parents cleared her education debts, vehicle, and upheld a substantial reserve she seldom tapped. Now that autonomy stranded her flailing, I abstained from response. Rather, I rang my superior, sought several private days, and initiated flat seeking. In a week, I obtained a simple single-room distant, affordable via my latest task incentives. Sophia's dispatches persisted, evolving from ire to supplication. "Kindly converse. We mend this." I misspoke. I merely succumbed to ceremony pressure. My folks erred. On 5th day, I dispatched one retort. "I'll fetch my possessions forthcoming week." Services sustained till periods close. Inform when absent for my relocation. Her retort immediate. "Kindly abstain. I cherish you. Overdue." On 6th day, Edward, Sophia's sire, rang. I nearly dismissed yet responded from intrigue. "Ryan," he uttered. His typical superiority mellowed. "We converse." "I doubt it, Edward. Prithee." Sophia's distraught. "That's no longer my affair." "Observe," he breathed. I perchance voiced improprieties. Indeed, he sought encounter. Defying my urges, I consented to brew the morrow, spurred by interest. At the bistro, I marveled at not solely Edward and Victoria but Sophia and her junior sibling as well. A complete kin raid. "What's occurring?" I queried, positioned by their surface. "Prithee seat," Victoria urged. Her habitual poise unraveled. "We converse." I seated, distancing from Sophia. Her lids swollen, her routine groomed guise disheveled. Edward initiated. "Ryan, I extend remorse. My remarks on you were unjust." "You suppose?" "Affirmative," he continued. "This span revealed you're vastly superior for Sophia than we grasped." "In what way?" Victoria interposed. "Sophia's shattered. She abstains from meals, repose. She adores you." I eyed Sophia, droplets quietly tracing her visage. And Edward appended, seeming uneasy, "Sophia withheld candor on your vocation. Her sibling researched you." "I'm somewhat a structure enthusiast," her sibling interjected. "I searched you. You contributed to the Evergreen Mall? That's substantial. And principal creator on the fresh lakeside venture? Wow, that's notable." I dismissed. "I've progressed adequately. Why conceal?" Victoria queried. As it oughtn't signify, I stated. "I'm a designer for my passion, not to sway my betrothed's kin." Edward appeared subdued. "We erred in assessing you and shouldn't have sown qualms in Sophia's thoughts." "You sowed not, she didn't permit flourish," I noted. "She's an adult who elected." "I elected poorly," Sophia uttered, tone abraded. "I was foolish, timid, and permitted their influence." I've rued each instant post-departure. Where present, Edward stated, to beseech another opportunity. I regarded this kin, who judged me deficient and now retracted. Why the abrupt shift, Edward? Due to my potential triumph? Nay, he claimed, though his gaze darted. As I've never witnessed my offspring thus fractured. Irrespective of your view of me, I adore her. Truthfully, I'd never vaunted my vocation to Sophia or her parents. Not from concealment, but as I gauged not my value by honors. The lakeside venture marked a grand triumph, one I'd invested sleepless eves in. But Sophia fixated more on her publicity realm, and I relished heeding over proclaiming. Prithee, Ryan, Sophia extended for my palm. I withdrew. Aired. I cherish you, not your deeds or gains. Yet you failed to defend me, I uttered gently. When they claimed insufficiency, you concurred. I feared, fretted over ceremony, questioned myself, concerned not you, and you contacted solely upon grasping the contract shift and card severance. That merely illustrated my dependence on you, she noted. My necessity for you. I desire not necessity. I crave election. I rose. You elected your parents' view over me. Ryan, Victoria inserted. Individual's heir. Sophia faltered. We faltered. Merits that a reprise? I eyed them. This kin hastening to mend their disarray, and sensed void. That icy precision endured. I extend best to you all, I stated, pivoting to depart. Halt. Sophia rose, attracting patrons' regard. I'll enact aught. I'll relocate to your novel abode. I'll contribute my portion. I'll sever my parents should required. Her parents' startled countenances affirmed their earnestness wavered. It's not thereof, I informed her. It's regarding you revealing your true self, one prizing prestige and external views over fidelity and affection. I credit you henceforth. I departed, disregarding her summons. That spanned 6 months past. I haven't communed with Sophia since, though she dispatches sporadically. Her parents dispatched a lavish Scotch flask with remorse parchment, which I reassigned for Liam's natal day. The lakeside venture I crafted unveiled last month to fine acclaim. My agency elevated me to associate with firm increment. I procured a compact unit in the edifice I shaped. At times, I ponder if I proved overly stern, overly reluctant to pardon. But then I recollect her effortless skepticism, her swift echo of her parents' ruling on my merit. Certain scars prove too profound to repair. The fitting individual requires no persuasion of your sufficiency. They'll recognize and safeguard it, even versus their lineage. I'm yet questing that individual, but now I discern what I merit and what I shan't abide.